That's right. We're doing another river video. In honor of Star Citizen's river, I thought I might shoot one more before the holidays, and just to say thank you for everything that everybody has done. It's been pretty wild. I have a story. I want to share. This goes back. This goes way back. This goes to like 2010. 2010, I'm in Afghanistan. And it's just a normal day. Normal day. Friggin' hot. And it's just... I think a lot of times we don't expect weird shit to happen in our lives. Like, really weird stuff. Like coincidences that just don't make any sense, or things that just can't really be explained. I was 19 years old, and it was a day like every other. And my buddy Rogers, who never asks me to hang out ever, is like, hey man, come get some Mr. Noodles. And we were on a FOB, which is a forward operating base for you army types out there who know what I'm talking about. And it was just, standard thing where I was hungry and whatever. But on this particular day, I was stacking water bottles on the other side of a big blast wall. I'm just stacking them, I'm stacking them. It's basically just a make work project because, we're bored in the desert. And he asked me, he's like, hey man, let's get some Mr. Noodles. I'm like, sure. I walked to the other side of the HESCO barrier and the other side of the blast wall. And within 3 minutes, maybe even less, I hear like a big thump. It's as if someone took a bunch of gravel and just threw it up against the side of the building that we were in. Which wasn't much of a building. It was basically just a bunch of plywood and a roof. I remember looking at my buddy being like, what? He looked at me, I looked at him, and we both knew, like, okay, it's real, We get out, open the door, and all my friends are laying down on the ground. They're just like, incoming! Get down! I'm like, oh shit, it's happening! And we had been bumped before, we had been fired on a couple times before, but this one felt pretty close to home. It was a pretty exciting feeling though, for sure. We returned fire, we went back out there, did our thing. This is how I remember it. And it was pretty exciting. We all felt the high adrenaline. Nobody got hurt, maybe except for them. And it was pretty surreal. And then it kind of hit me later on. I walked back to where the bottles of water where I was stacking was, and there's nothing but this big divot in the ground. This big divot in the ground, and there's a piece of a mortar where the round had landed. And for a second there, I was kind of like, it totally changed my life. It totally changed my life because one little act of, like, I guess you could call it charity. My buddy Rogers was just like, hey man, come get some Mr. Noodles. Like, just that one act of kindness of just like, hey man, come hang out with me, come spend time with me, come enjoy life. Saved my life. I didn't realize it at the time. I had come home, after the war, and other things happened, but it really shifted my perspective on like what life can be like. One second you're here, and the next, who knows? When I came back, I told myself I would do a few things, because the way I saw it, it's like, by all rights, I should have been killed that day. So I think when you do anything, there's a level of fear that it's just going to be part of your life, right? And I was so terrified. I was so scared. I was so scared to like jump into the YouTube thing or do Twitch or like express myself like a normal human being, right? I was so terrified, right? Because what will people think? What will they say? What will they will they judge me? Will I lose friends? All that stuff, right? But the reality is, like, what I've found out in the last little bit at least is the more you become who you're supposed to be, I think the more you express who you are, the more you self-discover, the more you're going to polarize some people. But that's actually a really good thing. Because what ends up happening is, I find that you end up attracting the people around your life that you actually really enjoy spending time with, and the people that you were kind of faking, like, oh yeah, I would, sure man, that's really cool, like those people, they remove themselves from your life. And it's not that they're bad people, it's just, there's certain people that mesh well and certain people that don't. And what I found is, like, through the act of accepting that I'm afraid, accepting that what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to do with the channel and just in general, like this medium, I think the more I just accept that I'm gonna be afraid and then do it anyway, the more I found, for me, like, my whole life has completely shifted. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So if you're afraid to do something, if you're afraid to tell somebody something, if you're afraid to take a chance at something, if you're afraid to, do something you're passionate about, why not? Like, why not try? Because the truth is, like, life is a finite thing, right? At some point, your heart's gonna beat its last beat, and that's it. And that's not a depressing thing. It's just the truth. So you can either accept that and be like, okay, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do something that I really love and I'm really passionate about, and then just go for it. Or I'm gonna pretend like I'm immortal until it's too late, and then I go like, man, I really wish I could have. I really wish I could have done those things, right? So this is my video before I go off on my boat cruise. But I just wanted to say how thankful I am that all you folks have kind of jumped on, and how much support I've gotten from the Discord and from Twitch and just everything in general, man. It's been a dream of mine to like just make videos about the things I really care about flying spaceships, about having fun, about people, about life. Like, those are the things that fire me up, So whatever fires you up, go for it. You're already naked. It's gonna happen. Nobody gets out of life alive. So at some point, there's no respawn at Grimhex on this one, boys. So just go for it and see what happens. Because the worst thing that can happen is your dreams get achieved. And if you don't achieve some of your goals, you're gonna learn something about yourself anyway. And I think that is a more empowering thing in and of itself. I wish I had more to say. That's my story. But I think it shows that if you confront your fear about stuff and then just move into it, I think only good things can happen, right? Keep on doing 1% every day, guys. Keep on enjoying your life. Enjoy the time you have with the people you love, doing the things you want to do. And you'd be surprised how far you'll go. At least that's what I think. Could be wrong, but who knows? We're all in this together. All right, guys. 1% every day. See you later.